to forget his past. But can he?
David, Jewish people.
Some seek miracles.
Oh, and we all evolve in our own personal lives and our values. And
David Duke, a former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan and Nazi sympathizer, now says that he no longer wants to be associated with his extremist past.
We're going to stand proudly and honestly and courageously, and we're not going to stop until we win. Thank you.
But those who have been keeping tabs on David Duke over a period of time do not believe that he is
Republican Party so that he can emerge as the chief spokesman against Buddy Roemer. I mean, he's going to try to attack Roemer's attempts at getting tax reform. I mean, this guy is trying to build a statewide movement. Whether he can, I don't know. But I have no doubt that his anti-Semitism has not changed.
The confrontation between David Duke and Governor Buddy Roemer could, in the opinion of political experts, propel Duke into a position of immense power here in Louisiana, should he defeat Roemer's tax reform plan.
actually, overall, it's a $625 million tax increase, and this from a governor who swore to us he would not raise taxes.
I'm going to ignore David Duke. I mean, I don't care what the American Nazi Party thinks about this program.
David Duke maintains that he has never been a member of the Nazi Party, despite the fact that he was photographed wearing a Nazi uniform many years ago while protesting on the Tulane campus.
In the right wing, you have people that you know, and I knew people that were involved in different groups, but as a member, I was never a member of the Nazi Party, whatsoever.
That is the David Duke of today. The David Duke who wants to distance himself from the past, a past in which he traveled the length and breadth of this land, seeking publicity for the very ideas that he now opposes.
I wouldn't be opposed to any group that stood up for the white race in this country, and if I was a Nazi, I'd be proud of it. The Jews consider themselves a separate entity in our society. They always have. They're a very elitist group. White people in this nation and the world have got to unite.
But how far are those ideas in David Duke's past? Not very far, say Duke watchers, especially if you examine the Populist Party, under whose banner he ran for president last fall.
The Populist Party was founded in 1984 as an amalgam of neo-Nazis, former Klansmen, and far-right extremists.
Look, when you're running for president and you don't have very much money and you're in the bottom of the political barrel, you take help when you can, where you can get it.
No matter how much hatred they preach.
No, because there was no hate.
No matter how much violence they preach.
No.
Critics of the populist movement point to the violent personality of Art Jones, a perennial Populist Party candidate who was photographed with David Duke at a February convention in Chicago.
Have you met today with skinheads and with Nazi members?
I have met one skinhead.
That's enough. Get out of here.
Hey, man,
Get out of here.
Don't start shoving me. Don't start shoving me. Why are you here?
That's enough.
Why are you here?
That's enough. You are a low-life scumbag. That's what you are.
You're with the American Nazi Party.
You are a low-life scumbag.
Forget it.
David Duke returned to the state legislature in Baton Rouge after that, deeply embarrassed by the incident, which was televised nationwide.
And after the conference, somebody came up to me. I never saw him before in my life. He shook my hand, and suddenly flash cameras go off, and he starts getting in some sort of abusive fight with people. He's some sort of Nazi kook who was running for office in Chicago, and I never saw him before in my life.
Just some Nazi kook? Tulane graduate student and Republican worker Beth Rickey followed Duke up to Chicago to observe the Populist Party appearance of the Metairie lawmaker. And she says she believes that Duke knew Art Jones. She says that Jones was not the only person threatening violence there.
This man gets up and says, and is threatening, there are infiltrators in the Populist Party, and we know who you are. And he kind of looked at me, and he said, and we have people here who can take care of you. And he points at the skinhead sitting in the audience. And then he said, in fact, give me a few drinks, and I'll beat you up myself. And everyone laughs.
David Duke is in the room at the time.
Yes.
What's his reaction?
I don't know. He was in the back of the room.
He didn't walk out.
Oh, no.
He didn't get up and protest.
No.
That kind of language.
No. It was, no.
Your impression was that he went along with it.
Absolutely.
David Duke says he is not associated with neo-Nazis. Yet in his National Association for the Advancement of White People newspaper, he sought support for two notorious Nazis.
In the NAACP newsletter, you supported a campaign to free two men, John and Ed Gerhardt, both convicted of using explosives. Now, these men or founders of the American White Nationalist Party, the Nazis, right or wrong?
Well, I don't know if they're Nazis. The White Nationalist Party, I don't think was a Nazi
You call
party.
them political prisoners, though. Did they or did they not seek to
Okay, look, I don't.
violence here?
I don't know. There's a question of it.
How do you?
I got a letter from these people. I think they were in Ohio, and they said that they had not. That they had been set up. That they had been set up by government agents who had been agent provocateurs and who had talked. And by the way, there was no actual bombing, and there were. I think in this instance, I'm not familiar with it. Per
why
se.
would you associate yourself with people who are accused of doing this?
I wouldn't.
His organization and his newspaper did, in fact. It is also fact that a federal jury found John and Ed Gerhardt guilty of conspiracy to blow up a public school and attempt to kill the young daughter of a federal judge who had issued a desegregation order. The Gerhardt brothers were convicted and sentenced to 6 years in prison.
Why do you sell so much Nazi literature? That's what I
I don't sell a lot. We have other book lists. We actually sell hundreds and hundreds of books, and we've always had a free form of material.
But there seems to be a preponderance of Nazi literature there.
Well,
why would you sell that?
I wouldn't call it that.
Why does a guy like this continue to sell literature that spuriously, falsely maintains that millions of Jews did not die? It doesn't wash.
David Duke, to this very day, is selling numerous books which contends that the Holocaust was a hoax.
The hoax of the 20th century, talking about the Holocaust being a hoax.
Yeah, it's saying that the atrocities were exaggerated in Europe.
Do you believe that they were?
I think it's possible that some of the atrocities were exaggerated.
Let me show you something.
Statements such as that take on an ominous tone for Jews everywhere, especially for those who lived through the Holocaust.
This was my name.
David Duke and his climb to legitimacy especially worries those who survived the concentration camps and now live in New Orleans.
How can he tell there was not when we were in the concentration camp, and he cannot tell us there was not when we were in it?
Let them come to us talking, saying it's not the Holocaust. Then we're going to answer him the question, But people don't go with him,
Before my eyes, I saw history repeat itself. Because when I do remember when I was 15, 16 years old, 1933, Hitler came to power. The same age, the same charismatic looks, the same thing.
David, Jewish people say that you sound just like Hitler did in 1933 when he came to power.
I don't know how they can say that, because what am I saying against Jewish people? I mean, just tell me one thing I'm saying. What am I saying against Jewish people when I'm talking right now?
You have constantly in the past hinted that the Holocaust was a hoax. You sell many books that claims that. You don't think that's offensive to these people?
Doubleday Bookstore sells Mein Kampf. It's not making.
We're not talking about Mein Kampf. Okay. We're talking about numerous books that say the hoax did not exist.
Well, Doubleday Bookstore sells Mein Kampf. It doesn't make them Nazis, because I've offered different books for sale to different people.
Here's a guy who's been surrounded by Nazis for the last 10 years, and now he says he has a hand of friendship out to the Jewish community. Here is a guy who says he renounces bigotry, yet he sells these scurrilous books like Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. Who is the real David Duke? Will the real David Duke please stand up?
David Duke may in fact be many people. For instance, he once wrote a manual on hand-to-hand combat for black militants, telling them how to attack whites.
You wrote a book called African Addo, under a pseudonym. A book instructing black revolutionaries in violent tactics, how to kill whites. Why did you do that?
Oh, that was a spoof.
Duke says he wrote the book to prove that blacks would buy such a thing. Now, there are other inconsistencies in Duke's past that he would like to close the door on. For instance, the time that he was leaving the Klan to begin the National Association for the Advancement of White People. Duke claims that he wanted to go in a different direction ideologically. However, it was widely reported that he was forced out by Bill Wilkinson, who had left Duke's group to form the Invisible Empire in Louisiana. That was after a bitter feud between the pair. Now, Wilkinson said that he secretly videotaped a meeting in which Duke tried to sell him his list of membership for $35,000.
So I see today I'd be buying the 2+ plan. And the reason he was selling out is because all of his people have already quit and come to the Invisible Empire. It was just a way to get a little money to move on to something else.
Wilkinson says that something else was the NAAWP. Now, critics of David Duke say his alleged offer to sell the names of his followers to Wilkinson and other Klan groups is proof of him speaking out of both sides of his mouth. Duke says the Klan is not violent. Yet on November 3rd, 1979, 5 people died in a violent gun battle between blacks and Klansmen from the Invisible Empire in North Carolina.
I've been a writer for 16 years, and I've covered a lot of political events. I covered race relations stories in Mississippi back in the early 70s. And I have never, in my professional life, encountered such raw, molten hatred as I saw the night that David Duke won in the Metairie Lions Club. And I was amazed at the level of anger. You would think when someone wins an election, everybody's happy. Champagne, toasts, balloons, and cheers. Well, there was that. It was beer rather than champagne, and it came later. But these were angry people. And there were 2 things they were angry about. They were angry about Jews, and they were angry about the news media.
Channel 4 Communist! Channel 4 Communist! Channel 4 Communist!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a new day for Louisiana.
Now, coming up in just a minute, I want to introduce you to a new correspondent to the Journal. And I know that you will be delighted with what he brings. It comes along right after this.
Give me the softer side of nature. Help me bring it home. Give me all that natural softness. Give me nature's own.
Nature's Own, a line of delicious wheat breads that are naturally wholesome and naturally soft.
Give me the softer side of nature. Give me nature's own.
Baked by the Flowers family.
More businesses trust Egan for the most recognized names in the insurance industry. Egan, a New Orleans tradition of service and quality since 1954.
Good morning. How's last night's intimate little dinner?
Not good.
Why?
Just as I'm serving the most wonderful meal, I see Jessica scraping these gritty spots off her glass.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that dishwashing stuff didn't dissolve.
Uh-oh.
Why are you uh-ohing?
Tonight I'm serving the most wonderful meal to Susan.
Uh-oh.
Introducing new Cascade. It dissolves better than ever for better spotlessness.
Well?
Looks great. You want to make this a foursome?
No. No, I don't.
New Cascade dissolves better for better spotlessness.
Which spread tastes more like real butter?
Oh, my shed spread country crock, right?
Parquet.
Parquet? Come on, Sheds, back me up. Say something.
Parquet.
Parquet. All right, let me taste.
Yes, in a national taste test, more people agreed.
Parquet spread does taste more like real butter than Sheds. No wonder you're so quiet.
Parquet.
So, how you been?
Parquet spread's better buttery taste leaves Sheds speechless.
Parquet.
Good luck. Here we go.
Buy a vowel. Buy a vowel. Buy a vowel. A-E-I.
Oh. Yo!
Yeah, that's it.
See if you can spell it out. Weeknights at 6:30 on Channel 4.
At Taco Bell, spare change can turn nachos into our new Nacho Supreme. Because for just a little more than our regular nachos, you get beef, beans, tomatoes, and all the flavor you could ask for. So chip in and try the new Nacho Supreme today. At just 99 cents, it won't be around for long. Taco Bell has the road to make a run for the border.
Coming to Taco Bell now, get a Border Buster squeeze bottle for only 99 cents while supplies last.
For many years now, I have been a big fan of New Orleans writer Ronnie Virgets. I followed his columns with regularity in the Times-Picayune and his freelance articles wherever they would pop up. Well, I asked Ronnie one day last month if he wouldn't try writing something for the Journal. Well, he did. And what he came up with did not surprise me, but will surprise and delight you. In fact, we thought it might balance this program out. It's about love.
Hemingway once wrote that no true love affair ever had a happy ending, because if you follow any love story far enough, it ends here, in the grave, with one lover gone and the other grieving. Over the centuries, left-behind lovers have tried to express the pain of that separation. The man that sings St. James Infirmary, for instance, uses words as hard as a bullet. I tried so hard to keep from crying, but my heart felt just like lead. She was all I had to live for. How I wish it were me instead. One spring morning when I stopped to check out the azaleas at Metairie Cemetery, here, I found another. Among the thousands of graves, this particular one, put in a strange but strong claim on me. Parts of this tomb are mysterious, and parts are metaphysical. But where or what is the spring that drives the wheels of the human organism? What or where is the power that maintains and enforces the law? Whence comes life? What is death? The solution to this mystery is the prerogative of those who here lie, silent in their graves. And there are some parts that are just simple and plaintive. To the model woman and model wife. Yet through all the 19th century formal language comes the cry that has undercurrented all the words written on the subject since the Epic of Gilgamesh, since we human beings have been losing lovers and writing words about it. These words were written by and for a young woman from Findlay, Ohio, who died on March 29th, 1891, and she was only 38 years old. And then just over 2 years later, July 14th, 1893, she was joined in this tomb by her husband, a native of Athens, Greece, who was 47 years old. How they met, this girl from the Monongahela and this boy from the Mediterranean, the tomb doesn't tell me. It only tells me that they were in love, and when she was gone, he mourned her. And when he was gone, he was gone. There were no children and grandchildren to mourn them both. So, twice a year now, on March 29th and July 14th, when nobody's looking, I come by. I straighten out a couple of coat hangers, like this, and I use them to reach inside and hook the bell chain, like this. And then I toll the morning bell. For me and you and lovers everywhere.
Like you, I can't wait to see what Ronnie Virgets writes about on the next journal. A final word right after this.